Hey everybody, it's Dominique, also known as Honey, and today I'm coming to you to talk about foods to avoid when you're managing a celiac diet. So, in my first video, I talked about wheat, oats, rye, and barley. And today I'm just going to add to that list. This list is not at all a complete list. There are so many more foods to avoid than what I'm going to give you today. But this will help you on your journey. It'll help the journey to go a lot smoother, especially for those who are just starting out. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started because I don't want this to be a long video. I want this one to be a lot shorter than the other one. So again, we talked about the wheat, oats, rye, and barley. And I just want to add to that malt, M-A-L-T, malt, any kind of malt, malted milk, malt vinegar, malt extract. You want to stay away from those. And malt vinegar is in a lot of things, but you want to be careful with that. Beer, bread, desserts, anything basically cooked with flour, like any kind of pastries, cookies, cakes, pies. You want to stay away from those. Cereal, crackers, and potato chips. But hold up, let me just say this. This list, you do need to avoid these things, but there are alternatives to these. But when you're just starting out, you just kind of want to, just adhere to this list. But in another video, I will talk about, and maybe my next video, I'll talk about alternatives to the list that I'm going to give you today. So where did I stop? Crackers and chips, French fries. Now, French fries is tricky because a potato is naturally gluten-free. But if you're preparing it at home, then that's one thing. But if you're trying to eat out and say you're at a restaurant and they say they have their French fries are gluten-free, well, you just want to make sure that the fries have not been prepared in the same fryer as, say, like maybe a chicken nugget, some chicken nuggets or something like that, because then they will no longer be gluten-free. I personally don't eat fries out, in fast foods because there are just too many ways to for the food to have cross-contamination. In the fast food restaurants, they just, in my opinion, they don't understand enough about gluten for me to feel comfortable and safe eating there. But, again, you can always make your fries at home. Pasta, you want to stay away from that. Salad dressings and sauces and soups, most of them will have gluten in it, so you want to be careful with those. This will be a different one. Medication. And you're like, well, how do I get around that? So if you have celiac disease, a gluten sensitivity, or gluten intolerance, you would want to talk to your doctor about the meds that they've prescribed, and they won't know if gluten is in it or not, but they will refer you probably to the pharmacist, and sometimes they may not know. They'll have to contact the manufacturer. Most of them will do it on your behalf, but you are free to do it as well. But at any rate, you want to know if gluten is in your meds. Vitamins and supplements, I've found over the years that the majority of them will state on the label if they're gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, or whatever. So you won't have too many problems with the vitamins and supplements. There are quite a few brands that I trust, and quite a few just, across the board for you to choose from. Lipstick and lip balms, chapsticks, those sort of things, you want to stay away from them. They're on your lips. It's so easy for you to ingest it. Some doctors feel that you can't get gluten that way, but people with celiac have said that they have. So for that reason, you want to make sure that anything you're putting on your lips is gluten-free. Communion wafers, that's an easy fix. You can just bring your own with you to church, your own crackers or bread and juice. You can just bring that with you so that you will still be able to participate. Eggs, that's another tricky one because eggs are naturally gluten-free, but if you're preparing them at home, that's one thing. But if you want to eat out, then that's another I would say red flag, because for some reason restaurants will add pancake batter to their eggs, maybe to make them fluffier or to stretch them. I really don't know why they do it. I just know that they do. And so for that reason, I won't eat eggs out. I will eat boiled eggs, but only if the manager can assure me that nothing else is boiled in that pot other than eggs. Let's see, what else do we have? Play-Doh. Yes, Play-Doh, and Play-Doh brand has gluten in it. So, but I also want to say there is a gluten-free alternative. Can you believe that? Like, Play-Doh has gluten in it, and then there's a gluten-free Play-Doh. I'm not sure if the alternative is made by the Play-Doh brand, but I do know that there is an alternative on the market. And toothpaste and mouthwash, you just want to stay away from those. They're in your mouth, so you want to make sure you want to treat those like a food. You want to find a trusted gluten-free brand, and they do have some that exist. And I'm just going to stop there because I feel that I've given you quite a bit. Let's see, maybe 10, 15 or more foods to avoid, and that can be overwhelming in the beginning. So what I would suggest doing, especially those of you who are new to this journey, is familiarize yourselves with this list. And do it before you go to the grocery store, because that will take away almost all the stress. The process is stressful. It's stressful, but I'm here because I want to take all of the stress out of your process. In your journey, I want your journey to be as smooth sailing as possible. When I started this journey 6 years ago, we didn't have hardly any choices. It was just a lot tougher than it is now. I'm taking the guesswork out of it for you. It's enough to have to give up everything that you love, but I promise you, you'll feel so much better when you do. Ultimately, the goal that I want to see you work towards, and I'm hoping that you would work towards, is preparing your own foods. Like, that's the way to be safe, really, is just to prepare your own foods. But I hope that this information has been helpful. I plan to come periodically with more information regarding gluten, but then other things. I'm going to give you a list of foods that you can have. I'm going to come with alternatives for like your vitamins and supplements, and I'll do some other fun things, and there'll be some other giveaways and stuff like that too. So I would appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Again, my name is Dominique, also known as Honey, and I will be seeing you hopefully in a few days. Bye.